Hi, good morning again. You are with one half of the crypto crew. As you can see, we're here on the boat, beautiful San Diego morning. I had a conversation with a CEO of a major real estate corporation last night. Somebody I know personally and somebody who he and I have had lengthy discussions about stuff pertaining to crypto and the economy in general. So it's a big outfit. It's all over Vegas and Southern California, and I really respect his opinions and his thoughts. He hit me with a question last night that I thought was brilliant. It's a subject that I thought about doing a video in the past, and that's why is crypto different from the dot-com bubble? And when somebody hits you with something like that, it's really hard to just off the top of your head just spew 10 minutes of what you've stored up knowledge-wise about the subject. So I jotted a few things down this morning because it was such a brilliant question that I thought about it in my bunk all night, and I came up with a few things that are really, I think, going to be a difference and a similarity in so many different ways. So for the first thing that I'd like to say that I had mentioned to him was the dot-com bubble became a bubble. Crypto is yet to have become a bubble. So let's just start with that right off the bat, right? Maybe 10% of the people in the US even know what crypto is. Well, I guess 25, 30% of the people know what it is, especially since the Super Bowl just happened. But we're only at maybe 10% of the people, 15% of the people own it, okay? So its adoption rate is huge. It still has 85 to 90% adoption in front of it. So it can't be in an end game bubble because we're 90% away from that, correct? So that hit me. I said to myself, well, why has this adoption been so much slower? And then I reflected back to the days, because I was, a younger man back then, and was right in the middle of the whole thing. I thought the NASDAQ was going to go to the moon, and it clearly didn't. It's only just recently broke its highs from then. So that'll tell you how it set the NASDAQ back. So I thought, well, what's the difference? What's the main difference? What's the biggest thing to you and I? And the one I came up with through some research and looking into it and reflecting, back then, media got involved day one. It's almost as if .com was given the green light from day one. Boom, everybody should be involved in this. There were concerts being held for .com companies, and the media was behind it from day one instantly. And advertising, the budgets for some of these .com companies were tens of millions of dollars per commercial per day, propping up this company that we know now was only a web page. I mean, just reflect back, that's 1999, 98, 99. Having a web page was kind of a big deal back then. So it's crazy, everybody has web pages now, and just if you just have a backyard business, everybody has a web. But back then, that was a big deal to have your name in a .com company. So that leads me into infrastructure, right? They didn't have the infrastructure that is so key to today's ability to transmit these ideas. This crypto is basically software ideas that are going to bring use case and revolutionize actual usability for you and I's daily lives. So it's been built in reverse. Dotcom actually was, well, let's hype the product, get a bunch of investors, and then we'll maybe create a product down the line that'll do something. They didn't have the infrastructure, and they were all hype, and it was a big bubble. Crypto is a bunch of coders and social groups who have gotten together and said, well, I don't like this aspect of, whether it be banking, whether it be commerce of any sort, I don't like this aspect. Can we change that aspect through software? Sure, we can do that. We know how to do that. We can do that. So they do it. So they're building the product first before the hype. You got to think about it. Bitcoin's been around 13 years now, and it, like .com never made 13 years. Well, I shouldn't say that, because we did get some really amazing companies like eBay and Amazon, and the ones that we did get from that era have changed our lives, obviously. So when these people create this software, it's not picked up by Wall Street, packaged into a package, and then sold to Main Street. This has been a grassroots growing product, cryptocurrencies, crypto in general, from the bottom up, from the code, the actual code and white paper up. So it's a completely different avenue that the two have taken. And I wrote this down, and this is so important to me because I don't think we realize how important these phones are that I'm recording this on. The difference between 1999 and today was I just watched a recent video of Good Morning America talking about emails. That was in 97. That they're like, well, I don't think I'll ever use an email, because I would have to go home, I'd have to turn my computer on. It's just so much easier opening up an envelope and then reading a letter from somebody, right? I mean, how crazy is that? Well, our cell phones now are the exact software avenue in which all of this crypto is being transmitted throughout the world. We're not relying upon emails. We're texting bank accounts back and forth globally instantly. So the infrastructure is completely different. The phone networks, the fiber optic cable has all been laid down, and everybody now has unlimited access to their cell phone. Not everybody, but you know what I mean, most people. So when you open up an app, it changes your day. And there's thousands of apps. Well, the apps we've been using for, 10 years now, they haven't formed a bubble and popped and gone away. Now the good ones rise to the top. And this is one of the things that I had mentioned to the CEO last night. The biggest difference, in my opinion, was you had something go up 1,000 times on hype alone. Oh, this is going to revolutionize everything. Where this is more of a grassroots, let's build it from the bottom up concept. And I think I've already cleared that up. So let's go on to something else here. One of the aspects that a lot of people don't understand is the success of Amazon, which was a .com, but the success of Amazon is now because of its ability to transact instantly globally through that back then .com internet that we had created. But what people are starting to understand now is Internet 3.0 is coming, and it's coming through blockchain and crypto angle. So one of the companies that a lot of people don't even know this is they sell hard products. We all know this company is Nike, or Nike, depending on where you are in the world. This company had its best year in 2021, not by a slight margin, by about 40%. It was a massive year for them. And the biggest difference is because everybody who had a cell phone was ordering them directly from Nike. Not going to the brick and mortar store. They already know they're an 8.5 or a 10 and a 12 or whatever they are, right? They already know. They're just ordering through Nike's site. There were some things that kept a lot of us home that we've all been through over the last couple of years, and you guys all know what that is. But Nike took the ball, picked it up, and said, "Well, I can advertise, I can direct market, I can put my product in the people that actually wear Nikes immediately. I can incentivize them through tokens, through 2 or 3 different avenues," and they've hooked up with a couple of different crypto companies, and you can look those up. They have made a difference in their world in self-marketing, if you will, through blockchain technologies. So that's a big difference. We were promoting in the .com bubble brick and mortar stores. So the concept still was old school business, brick and mortar, of, well, we're going to build these, Pets.com is the one that gets all the blame for the failure of it. But had they just stuck with it, look how many pet companies sell pet feed today online. They all succeeded. They didn't make it because we couldn't see the future of Amazon back then. We couldn't understand how marketing or being able to pay for items all the way across the world, which is what crypto offers us, okay? Not even current banking systems can do what crypto is doing as far as buying a pair of Nikes on the other side of the planet, okay? I hope I kind of cleared that up, because it's life altering what's happening to people and their ability to want something, see something, and be able to purchase something and have it in their house within days, if not, in some cases, the following day. That has all changed from the day of brick and mortar, which 1999 was. So they sold this concept of what this company was going to be able to produce, but that company was going to have to hire thousands of employees, get a massive warehouse. It was going to have all the banking systems and the red tape that goes along with what it required to create a business in 1999. Where today, you and we already know I got an email, right? I've got a YouTube channel. I can touch or reach a lot of people, and you can market yourself or your own products in any way you would like because of these phones and the technology that has advanced what those people were simply dreaming of back then. Oh, we're going to create this and it's going to happen. Well, they were selling hype, not actual code. Today, we're selling code. We're selling the use case, the happening, and it's making a massive difference in a lot of people's lives. So, excuse me. Do I believe that cryptos could form a bubble one day? Of course. And one of my biggest things that I underlined on this paper here is really important to understand. There will be a crypto bubble. That bubble will be created. And You will know that you have the right products when you have products that have not gone up thousands of times in weeks or days. This is we got some people paddling by here. So a warning to the CEO that I gave last night, and I thought it was pretty sage advice, is don't look for the ones that are going up 1,000% in a month or 6 months. Those were the ones that didn't make it in the dot-com bubble. Remember, again, I've said this on this show before, Amazon had 97% drops. They had, I believe it was over 4 that were over 75% drops in their history. But Amazon wasn't one of the ones that were going up 1,000% monthly. You can't fly that high and sustain it. You know, it's the moth and the light, right? The story my son tells. It's a great story, by the way. So that's the beauty of Bitcoin, in my opinion. Bitcoin is not going up 1,000% annually. It's going up quite a bit, 100 to 200% annually over a 2 and 3 year period. That sounds like crazy returns to when I talk to CEOs like last night. He's just blown away by the whole thing. And he is concerned about tulip mania and bubbles. And I understand why. He and I and many others got burned in the dot-com. I do believe this is different. And I do believe there's going to be 10, maybe 50 to 100 companies that come out of this that are going to thrive. And it's going to be up to you to do your research and your homework and figure out which ones those are. I really personally believe that at this point, the only one that I really feel has a 95% success rate, there's no way it's going to fail. Can't say no way, I just said 95%, is Bitcoin. And the rest of it is going to have its day, but it's not going to become pets.com. There's too many technology. There's too much how they change our lives. And it's being used today. And it is changing people's day. And that's the difference, in my opinion. That's where I was heading to in this entire conversation. The difference is people's days are being changed. The poor of the world, the lower 5% are able to bank now globally. They're able with a cell phone to buy Nikes and have them shipped to their house anywhere in the world. That's changing things. That's change. That's physical change through software. That .com didn't change anything. They had a tulip, if you will, back then. Anyway, it's a beautiful day here. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a wonderful conversation about a subject that is still in people's minds of my generation, how this could all happen again. But I want you to really reflect on the interesting part of the difference is Wall Street was on board immediately. But I don't know if you've noticed about crypto, Wall Street hasn't liked it at all. The difference is Wall Street's coming into this crypto market late. They want in now. So do I believe they could create a bubble? I think they could. But I also believe that it's going to be on so many people's 401ks. And I'm only talking 1 to like 3%, maybe 5% of their asset value. Because thankfully we learned those lessons back at 1999 of putting any larger portion of your 401k or financial future based on such a speculative, easy for me, asset, that nobody would do that today. And that was one of the wonderful things that we learned about that back then. We also learned in '08, you don't over leverage yourself in real estate. That's just not wise. So we've learned a lot of lessons, and I think we're going to slowly go into this thing. And also, crypto's a lot harder to buy. You just can't call your broker and I'll take 50 million of them tomorrow. So that's helped crypto out as well. There's a learning curve. You have to know what you're doing a little bit more, and it is going mainstream, and that's coming very fast, very fast. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to be talking more with that guy. I'd like to interview that CEO because he and I have some amazing conversation. I don't have his permission to record it, and some of the conversations he and I have had are amazing because he's just learning what a crypto is, and his questions from his perspective and point of view, from a finance level. He's 110% believes in real estate, to the questions that he hits me with are brilliant. They're just amazing. The two of us click really well on a personal level. So I hope I can bring that interview to you guys in the future. And I hope you guys got something from this video. And I will be doing more videos like it. So here we are in beautiful San Diego on the boat. And I hope you enjoyed this morning's little morning coffee, to where we could get back together and share some time. And again, as always, like, subscribe, obviously, but put some questions down about what you have about the .com difference between crypto and .com, because I clearly didn't even touch on all my points that I wrote down on here. So with that, I'm going to be out.